you're gonna go down the rabbit hole of music, and where it leads you, it leads you.
But I've always been like that. Like even when I go into clubs, unless I'm doing like a specialty party, it's open season. I just kind of click on my crate and just
go.
Yeah, I like it better that way because I'm such a perfectionist that if I think of something and it doesn't go exactly like I think, or maybe it doesn't fly with the crowd as much as I like, I lose. Like it throws me off my game, and I don't like that feeling. So I've always been, and thankfully, like especially with the radio, I did Flow for 13 and a half years.
That's how long you were there.
Yeah, and I was like the catapult of the station. I had at one point 5 shows a day.
What?
And I used to go from Brampton. They want to talk about paying your dues. I used to drive from Brampton every morning. I would leave there about 5:30, 5:45. Get there to do my morning show.
Okay.
I would go home, and I would drive back for the 5 o'clock show and go home.
Wow.
And then we started to change it where I would go in the morning, and then I would record sometimes. But they didn't like the recording too much, and I didn't like the recording. I like to be there with the host and see everything that's going on in case we needed to break, do something, or someone would come in.
Yeah.
But eventually, it just got to the point where it's like I would go in and then I would record the 5, and or I would record, the 7, or whenever they would put me on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they just kept adding shows.
Because you were just that popular on that station.
Not even that. I wouldn't even. Well, I guess it's a combination of that. Yeah, I was, because I was probably on also the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like.
Clearly, you will be the popular guy.
I think it was a combination of both. I was getting great ratings.
Yeah.
As far as Flow is concerned, I was the spikes in Flow's programming.
Yeah.
But it was just. But they just had so much trust in me. Like Wayne, he really had a lot of trust in me, and a couple of the PDs that we had before had trust in me. You know what I mean? And I think they just came to the point where if it's not broke, don't
leave him alone.
Let him go. Let him do what he has to do. You know what I mean? And I think it was always a beautiful thing. And, we had so many, like the Caravana show with Jay-Z, Kanye, Rihanna. Like, we had so many great moments in there.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful learning process for me. You know what I mean? And it really trained me. And obviously when all that changed when they sold themselves and Bell bought them. And then Bell let them go.
So that was basically, I guess that's how you ended up leaving Flow, was when everybody got let go after
the slaughterhouse, we call
it. Yeah. They came in and they cleaned house from top to bottom.
It was a slaughterhouse. So literally what happened was they were like, we need all the... we need all the employees to come to the back office. So everybody went to the back. And then the big wigs from Bell came in. And we were literally, everybody was just, so one side of the room is just all the employees. Yeah. And you would just see like one by one, they would walk one person at a time. So, Michael, please come this way. Yeah. And you walk to the back office, come back with the head down.
Wow.
Come back, one by one. We're just watching people like, bing.
What's going on?
Bing, bing. Did you get, nope. No, they let me go. Oh my God, they let you go? Yeah, they let me go one by one. Bang, 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 everybody. They called me, and I got the Willy Wonka ticket. You know what I mean? And the guy, as soon as I sat down, but again, all this was due just to, I was getting great ratings at the time. They didn't know who I was. That guy had no clue who I was. All they did was look, and they're like, we want one DJ, and okay, your ratings are great. Yeah. Let's take him.
You come.
You know what I mean? So they took me. I think there was only 3 of us that made it out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think about that. Out of the whole staff.
And I heard this was marketing executives, everybody, like the whole...
Everybody got
cleaned out. Yep.
You know what I mean? And then, so I was one of the last to get called in, not because they chose me, just however they had their orders or whatever. Yeah. And then everybody went to the restaurant across the street, and everybody's sitting in there, and then I walked in, and they're like, so what did they say? Yeah. And I just went, well, they took me. And they're like, oh, of course they took you. You know what I mean? So but then again, it was like, these are my friends. But again, you could feel it. Like, they're like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I'm like, again, what do you want me to do? I'm supposed to say no to the job? Yeah. This is the big leagues now. Yeah. Now I'm virgin. This is like, this is the shit. You know, Seacrest thing and me. You know what I mean? Like, this is the shit.
That's crazy.
So yeah, everybody was just let go. It was a horrible, horrible scene. Yeah, you know what I mean. If I didn't want that job, there's nothing I would have loved more than to take the ticket and be like, have one of those movie moments where you're like, no,
get out of here with that.
We're all going down together.
But no,
but I wanted that job. You know what I mean. I was like, I was exhausted from Flow.
Yeah.
13 and a half years, so many shows a day. You know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous. Even in the last months of Flow, the morning show wasn't doing well. So what did they do? Okay, we're going to put you on in 7 and 8 and 9.
Yeah. You're the magic pill.
I was on more than the host.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even funny. Like, it's fact. Like, it was crazy to a point where I was like, okay,
come on now.
Now to show you how shitty I was at business.
Yeah.
I did this for 13 and a half years.
Yeah.
And making garbage money because I was making so much money in the clubs.
Yeah. And that was keeping you in the club.
So I did all this. I was salary.
Yeah.
But I was making like, I think 30,000.
What?
Now think about this. So I'm making this. I'm the highest rated on Flow.
Yeah.
I was on more than the host. And then it was the one day. This changed everything for me.
Yeah.
There was one day somebody was talking, and they were like, do you know how much the morning show makes?
Yeah.
They're making 3 figures. And I said, what? I said, what? I thought everybody was making money like me.
Yeah.
So it never dawned on me. I was like, I thought everybody, To me, I was like, it's 30 grand. I got benefits. I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I heard that and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, and this was near the end. And I was like, all these years I could have been making all that money. I was like, okay, cool. Went to my boss and then all this sales stuff happened. As soon as I got into Bell, they're like, my boss even sat me down. He's like, do you know you are only making, 30-something thousand a year? And I was like, and then immediately, I'm not going to say how much I'm making now because I make a lot more, but immediately, like, pretty much tripled my salary.
Yeah.
Just like that. Bang.
Just like, here, this
and
is
that's how I knew. I was like, now I'm in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So now there's no more fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, this is life.
Now
this
we're
is my
serious.
career. I worked my whole life to get here.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I'm on Virgin, which is the biggest shit. You know what I mean? And it's progressed now into, iHeart. And now I have my own channel on the iHeart app. So it's like, it just became this amazing thing for me.
Were you ever on G also?
Never.
You were never on G?
Never. Nor would I ever.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought you had done Flow, you did G, and then you got to Virgin.
I did Flow because, remember, Bell bought Flow, but they had to let them go because they had too many stations. So I was basically paid for 3 months to stay home.
Yeah.
Full-time, full salary. Because I wasn't allowed to work. And plus, and there's another perfect example. They had Angry Kids, Virgin had Angry Kids doing their shows.
Okay.
They were their DJs for years.
Yeah.
It was, okay, so Angry Kids are on Monday. Scratch is on Tuesday. And that's exactly what it was. So now they're mad at me.
Yeah. The life of Scratch, eh?
But it is what it is. Again, it's like, I'm not asking for this.
Yeah, it's just happening.
I didn't even know them. I never heard of them before. Not a disrespect in any way. I'd never heard of them before. I'd never really listened to Virgin before, to be honest with you. I don't listen to radio, to be honest. You know what I mean? So, and now I do. But, it's just those situations happen. I know it's business because if you go into any office or business or whatever, if you're not doing your job, you're gone.
It's strictly, it has nothing to do with emotion. I could, liking you or not liking you, that's no bearing on the choices and the decisions that I have to make right now.
Of course.
The best person wins. You're the best person for the job.
But a lot of people can't get that. You know what I mean? Especially can't get it. I don't think the Virgin thing had anything to do with me personally.
Yeah.
But back, like we're talking about back in the days when I would take people's jobs, there were so many factors into that, like again, me being the white guy and me being, this and how can you do that to us?
And then they spin it into something sometimes bigger than it really was in the first place. I just want to be here to play music. That's all I want to do.
Always. The worst thing I used to hear, I still hear it, and it drives me fucking bananas. Sorry for cursing so much.
No, we like that. We like the raw emotion.
So many times, not even arguments, because I don't argue, straight conversation where people would be like, especially in that California Dream, the mid-90s kind of phase, I would always get, oh, you're good for a white guy. You're pretty good for that white guy. You're pretty good. Before white boy, I was a white boy.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me fucking bananas because I'd be like, my answer would always be the same. I'd be like, okay, that's what you think? Show me a black guy that can play music better than me.
Yeah.
And it always shuts them up because A, they don't expect me to say that, but B, it's hard to think.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, so who can play better? Who would you put here then?
Yeah.
That can play music better.
So don't say I'm good for
But that
a
just
white
goes
guy.
to show
I'm good.
how people look at things.
Yeah.
Like it really is like it's weird for me to say it because you don't really, there's the white privilege and all that stuff, which did play, I'm sure it played into my career at some point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know
Fair
what I mean?
enough.
But it hurt me a lot too.
Yeah.
It cost me gigs. It cost me a lot of stuff.
Because of the field that you were playing in. If you're playing in a different field where it wasn't really so much of an urban black crowd.
Of course. Absolutely.
Then that eliminates that. So then now you're playing in this field and you're good at what you do. So then that puts you in a real funny position that you didn't even ask to be put in.
No, I just love the music, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was introduced to all that music when I came here.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Because to me, it was more music now that I can play with other stuff. So I already had my base of music that was in this thing here.
Yeah.
But now I can add reggae and hip hop and all this other stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So for me, walking in and walking in with my 45 case and playing reggae and just watching people and I get the shock factor.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm not stupid. I get it. But I wasn't doing it knowing that, oh, I'm the white guy coming into there. I wasn't thinking like, I was just like, let me just go play this music.
Yeah. But you could, I guess now, looking back on it, you could kind of understand, especially when you're first coming in.
Of
where
course.
People would say, hey, you're good for a white guy or you're good for a girl.
I get it.
Because they're not even thinking of those words that's coming out of their mouth.
No, they are. A lot of people are. But again, it plays both sides. It plays both hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hurts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it benefits me, right? But again, the only way it benefits you is if you fucking perform at the top level.
Top tier at all times.
All times. So if I'm not, I could be good for a white guy.
Yeah.
But if there's 15 black guys that can play better than me, my time is going to run out very fast. The novelty wears out very fast.
Very quickly. If your novelty is good, but then now you have to be good.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
You have no
At what
choice.
you're doing.
I really do have to play better than all the black guys that were playing in the club at the time. I have to.
Yeah. You have no choice.
I have no choice.
Yeah.
Because maybe they'll book me once or twice because I'm that novelty kid. But I have no choice. If I'm not better, I'm not going to grow in the business. And eventually there's going to be another white guy that comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or something else or another novelty
so you
act.
gotta be, this is my way in the door.
You have to kill. Exactly.
But then from I get in the door now.
Don't let me get my foot in that door.
Yeah.
Just don't.
You see, you brought up something where this is now pillars. Toronto had pillars. Like when you say soca, you would say the Kingdom of Soca, Dr. J and those guys. When you say reggae at that time, back in the early 90s, you would say King Turbo Red Flame. And then now they were starting from scratch and Baby Blue. You know what I mean?
I knew this was going to happen. Okay, let me stretch.
Yeah, that was where...
I didn't listen to Kid Cut's interview. So.
Yeah. This is
I can
where
only
things
imagine what he
got...
said.
No, and the funny thing with it is, go back and listen to it, is now, how did the industry play you guys against each other? Or how did that come to head, that entire situation?
They didn't. They didn't. So I'll even go back further than that.
Okay.
How you mentioned like Red Flame and Turbo. So me and Turbo became very close.
Okay.
Back in the days. I didn't really know Jay. I mean, to be honest, like in those times, soca was kind of on the side.
Yeah.
It was like they had their soca party, but it was us playing the soca at that time. You know what I mean? A lot of times it was us playing the reggae too, but reggae came in the again. Like I'm the one who brought Turbo onto my side.
Okay.
Right? Because we connected early and I just loved their vibe.
Yeah.
I was really cool with them. I thought they were really dope. Like Lindo to me is always like, he's my god.
100.
He's a fucking animal.
Yeah.
But I want to slap him.
Yeah. If you know Lindo P in depth like we do, I understand what you mean.
I love the guy.
Amazing.
He's my brother. Best performance reggae ever. You'll see he can do it all.
Yeah.
No business sense. And I can say that because I've sat him down and told him this a million times. If I could have controlled him, he would have been a monster.
Yeah.
And he was. Don't get me wrong. He was. Absolutely. But the greatest.
Yeah.
Absolute greatest. The things like the when I think back to the times, me, him, Turbo, like we had some amazing times.
I seen you guys do.
But it was just,
crazy
again, it was
stuff.
like a business thing, right? Like me and Lindo have literally started out together, known each other forever.
Okay.
But he was doing his thing and he was hardcore into the reggae.
Yeah.
And Turbo was willing to do stuff. So it'd be like the university bookings and stuff, always me and Turbo, me and Turbo, me and Turbo,
Okay.
me and Turbo. And we just figured, you know, let's do this.
Yeah.
So it'd be like when people would call me and be like, I want you to play with anybody. Let's pick a name off here. I want you to play with military. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Turbo.
Okay. So you helped push them into
I brought them into the R&B scene. Because at that time, like I say, it was, you know, keep in mind at this time we're talking, you know, like the Ebony Sound Crews, all these, everybody played everything.
Yeah.
So there was really no need for reggae DJs.
for a strictly
Yeah, and nobody wanted to
specialized-
hear all the yelling, especially in the regular R&B clubs. Like, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we could do everything ourselves. So that fusion was never really happening. You know what I mean? It was really the university parties and stuff that kind of started that ball rolling. But it would be tons of times, you know what I mean, where people would call me and I'd be like, nope, me and Turbo. Okay, I want this guy. Okay, well, then we're not doing it. And I would turn down the gig.
because
even
they're
me.
not getting Turbo.
Yeah, because I would just,
That's
we had
amazing.
a good synergy together
Yeah.
and I liked it. And I thought we were doing something good. You know what I mean? I had never had to deal with them.
Yeah.
I didn't take a cut from them,
Yeah.
nothing. I don't
It was just-
I don't even think they know. And
Yeah.
I'll get into the Baby Blue thing later,
Okay.
but I don't even think they know about that kind of stuff. I'm sure Andrew does to a point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would literally lay down the gauntlet and be like, no, these are my guys.
Yeah.
Me and Turbo.
Yeah.
And it became a thing. You know what I mean? It was, and it was great.
I remember those days. I definitely remember.
You know what I mean? And then then I would do it with Lindo as well. You know what I mean? And then you could see it starting to happen. It would happen more and more people would come in, people would leave, more people would come in, people would leave. And people always, same way, gravitated towards Turbo because they understood it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They understood the club scene properly. They understood the way to play. You can't play reggae style, dancehall style in the R&B clubs at that time. You can't.
No.
People want to hear the mixing. They don't want to hear Jew.
Yeah.
If you have real hair, they don't want to hear that shit.
No.
That only came later on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wish it went back to the way it used to be because I can't take that stuff. Not in the clubs.
Yeah. No. There's
It's
a time and
different-
place for everything.
Exactly. And they got it. They understood it. And we had a great thing going. So it was great, all that. And then that's when the Baby Blue thing started happening because what would happen is I became good friends with Chief.
Okay.
And I used to bring Chief in with me at California Dreams. I would let him play with me at California Dreams, and he would come with me. And he was a good DJ on his own.
Yeah.
But we just same thing with him. You know, we clicked. I love him like a brother to this day. Great dude, great DJ, and he just came. You know, he was like my dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Baby Blue started to happen, and I forget. I don't even remember. Kid Cut will probably know better than I do. My memory stinks with that stuff,
Yeah.
but. They were making their waves in Windsor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And back then we used to go to Windsor and, you know,
Okay.
March
Sports
break.
weekend.
Yeah, sports weekend
Yeah.
was a monster.
Of course, that's where
London,
everybody went.
Windsor, and we were the ones controlling, like
Okay.
me, Turbo, Lindo, like we were the ones that were going to all these. They would always bring us out. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, carloads of people.
That
You
was
know what
the
I mean?
biggest
Of
thing,
course.
sports weekend.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so we used to do that, and I used to hear, you know, Baby Blue, Baby Blue, Baby Blue, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really know them. And then I had connected with KLC.
Okay.
And we were cool. Never really got along with Kid Cut because he was ignorant and cocky, and yeah, he wasn't for me. He wasn't for me. He's changed a lot.
For sure.
But a fucking tremendous hustler.
Yeah.
Tremendous hustler. Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So they had, you know, and at that time it was only them two. It was KLC and Kid Cut.
Yeah.
And and then I started to do the same thing with them.
Yeah. Okay.
So once we became close, because they were doing well out there,
Yeah.
but not here, and I was the guy here.
Yeah.
So it would be the same thing. It was like people would call me for university parties and so forth, and I'd be like, okay, you got to put Baby Blue on.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, but I don't. And I'd be like, no, you have to put Baby Blue on.
I didn't know this.
Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they probably will argue the fact, but
Yeah.
anybody that knows would know.
Okay.
So it would be like that. And then Yeah, I just used to do that. I used to, same thing. I would put my stamp, when I say put my stamp on it, on a business side of it.
Yeah.
Again, not making money off anything and not even I wasn't looking for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just liked when we all rocked together. I thought it was unstoppable. So I wanted to keep it that way.
The vibe, the energy, what you guys brought to the table, that's what you liked the most.
Yeah,
you know
because
what
I had my style, but I'm not an MC.
Yeah.
So their style was great because they had the party rocking aspect to it, which I loved.
Yeah.
And it was different than me. And we played music differently. You know what I mean? So it all worked together great. I was like, cool. Everything went along. Then we did G. Ross Park. And that's when things really started to shift.
Okay.
So what had happened was there was a point where KLC had come to me and he's like, we want to add somebody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, put Chief in.
Yeah.
Take Chief. Because he was doing okay on his own and I can't really do much for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, put Chief. They connected and it worked. Chief came to me and asked me. I was like, do it.
Yeah. This is a good home for you right now.
I can only do so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you really want to, I'm not giving up my money.
Yeah.
I'll get you some money, but you'll do better at this.
Yeah.
I never expected them to be the monsters they became.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show the hustle. But what had happened was, so all that happened. Then what would happen is, over time, like we would do parties, and essentially it would be me playing music and Kid Cut on the mic.
Got you.
But all he would be saying is, baby blue, baby blue, baby blue, baby blue, baby blue.
You.
Again.
Yeah.
It never really dawned on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care. But then we did this G. Ross Park thing, and it was the same thing. And that was my turning point. That's where I was like, this is not happening anymore. You know what I mean? This is not working for me anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when we butt heads, and that's kind of where this kind of went our separate ways.
Got you. Yeah.
I never did anything like maliciously towards them. I never told people not to book them, nothing. It just wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
I never told people to book them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And it was the same. I mean, look, throughout my career, I've seen endless people rise and fall.
A gazillion.
I've always just kind of held the wheel and kind of drove straight, and cars would hit me on the side. I'd be like, you know.
And keep going.
But look, Elite Squad, all these guys, Ill Kids, all these guys came and made a huge waves and did great, great things. Then they just went away. And what's the common theme? Crews.
Yeah.
Crew.
Got
crew.
You. And you looked at that.
Crew.
Yeah.
Crew. I never wanted to be, because like I said before, I just don't play well with others like that. Like it had nothing to do with money. I don't feel I can answer to anybody.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I need. The only thing I wish I had a Kid Cut.
Yeah. A MC to really,
because he's great. Like he's great at what he does.
Amazing.
And he's been able to like shift with the time, and he's grown into a smart businessman. He always was a smart businessman, but he's just grown into like he's grown into a proper all around music business person now. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I never had that I wish I had. You know what I mean? I think me with a power MC back in the days, even now, would be a fucking
a
monster wave to deal with. So any MCs out there, hit me up.
Hey, you better listen. Scratch is putting it out there. You're a hot MC. Hit
with that, and again with that whole Baby Blue thing, so that happened basically. And then, like I said, we just kind of went our ways, and they did their thing. You know what I mean? They were big on the mix. Then they started the mixtapes and all that stuff. It wasn't my scene. I didn't really care. And I still don't. I really don't. You know what I mean? People, when you say people would pit us against each other, they would. I didn't, and they didn't.
Got you. It's just the people, but it's always
because it was easy to do, because we were the two. We were the two major players. We were the Jay-Z and Biggie.
Yeah, the pillars.
So what's the easiest thing to do is make it seem like we're bang. When
realistically,
they didn't hurt my business, and I didn't hurt their business. There was enough business for both of us. They found different business. They got a record deal. They got all this other stuff. They just couldn't contain it themselves. You know what I mean? That's internal. That's their problem, not mine. You know what I mean? I'm not a rock star. I've never come off like a rock star. I don't. I don't bring myself up like a rock star. They did.
Yeah.
That's not my feel. I don't like that.
Their way in was more like the boy band. The DJ boy band is what really opened up the door for them.
And it also burnt them down.
Yeah. The same thing that helped is the same thing that hindered.
Absolutely, because like it's cool. You could all walk in the club with your matching leather jackets and sunglasses, but when you start punking people off, and when you start treating people like shit, and when you start doing this and doing, it's gonna come back to get you. It's a small city. You can go other places, but you always got to come back home. You know what I mean? So eventually that shit's gonna bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? And it did.
Yeah.
Again, that's they had internal problems, as many people do or whatever, and that's cool. So that was just another, to me, that was just another phase. But from that moment, I said, I'm not ever again, mentoring somebody like that or taking someone under my wing.
Okay.
And I just didn't like it.
It didn't make you feel good.
Not at all, because there was even certain times where I'd see Chief when he was with them, and I know it's not him. He's got to play the role, and I was like, not for me, dude. Not for me.
This is what it's going to cost as a friendship, because I want to be a friend first, and then we'll be DJs after the fact.
But that's the thing, is like any opportunity I've ever given some is because I genuinely believe in them, and I think they deserve the opportunity, because that was done to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Like I say, I've never made money off a DJ.
Yeah. That wasn't your thing.
It doesn't. I could have. I could have easily done that
Of course.
stuff.
You're becoming like the booking agent.
We tried that.
15 or 10%.
Skimpy and I tried that once. Skimpy Boy and I tried that once when we created this little, DJ family.
Yeah.
The Rhythmic Path.
Yeah.
It was Jake's. It was like a whole bunch of DJs and stuff. But again, it turned into a babysitting club.
Yeah.
So it turned into, well, why are you guys on the gig? And how come you guys are on the big parties? And why am I not? Okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
So you're individual. Leave me as an individual. Let me do what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, it was something we thought would have been, the reason we originally wanted to do that is because we had a good control of the scene already.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to the same way, like I said, with Turbo and always booking Turbo and always booking Baby Blue, we kind of wanted to do that, but with a pool of guys. So everybody can work.
So we could lock it with these 5, 6, 7 guys
right
here.
But what would happen was you're doing a party, you're doing a party, they're doing a party. Who do they want? They want the top guys.
Yeah.
These guys aren't the top guys. So it was a hard pill for them to swallow. And for me, I'm like, I'm not going to say no to gigs when they want me, because I worked very hard to get here.
It's like it always comes back to people almost want you to say no for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it
always seems like you're put in that funny position. Being top tier, a lot of people don't realize being top tier, there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of answering to people, even though you don't owe anybody anything, but that's how they're going to try to make you feel.
And I worked my ass off to get to that top tier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the only person that's going to take me down is me.
Yeah.
No DJ is going to take me down. No sound crew is going to take me down.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take me down, because I will always find my lane.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? Always. You know what I mean? I've done it for years. Like I say, I don't really remember the first party I threw myself, but I know it was early on. Just because, and the reason I've always done those things is because I wanted to be able to play my music my way, do my thing my way, and create parties that would, fit it. We were the first ones to do 333 King. Yeah. It was an empty building, concrete building, and we brought Kid Capri and all, like, you know what I mean? Like there's crazy stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally walking out with a backpack with like almost $100,000 after Caravana, and just like we're sitting on the floor like with a crew of us and just throwing money on the floor and be like, here's your share, here's your share, here's your share, here's your share. And then 5 years later, it's like, what'd you do with your money?
Right.
I don't know.
It's
you know
top. You see the life that you can live out of music, and as a DJ, it's amazing.
It's
what
amazing.
can be done once you take your business to that type of a level, because you have skills. That's one thing. But if you didn't have the business sense behind your skills, you probably wouldn't be around today.
I did, yeah, very true. Because I created parties that have been on for 15, 20 years. But like I say, I had good business sense, but not great business sense.
Got you. Well, the good is what kept you going until you became great.
Yeah. I mean, the good definitely kept me alive. I mean, I took my licks.
Yeah.
Trust me, I took my licks.
And a lot of people don't see that
Been ripped
part.
off endless amounts of, like, hundreds of like thousands of dollars, like just because we didn't know the difference. You know, we do these Caravana parties.
Yeah.
And bound the security guards are like stuffing fucking, you know, shit in their pockets of money, and they're leaving money, and we're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was busy doing that, and you were busy doing. We had never done this stuff before. You know what I mean? We did Armory, and you know, it was our party, and by 9:30 there was like 2,000 people outside, and I was doing security the whole night. I didn't even DJ because I had to just like, I was like, somebody got to do something.
Yeah, and you had to take care of it.
It was just like, it was crazy times. You know what I mean? It's just like, but again, had I not gone through those things, like people always ask me like, oh, if I started DJing now, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would give up because it's so hard now. You know what I mean? I don't have that Kid Cut mentality, and I don't have that DJ Khaled mentality.
Yeah.
I'm not a hustler like that.
You hustle with your hands on a turntable or a laptop, but not. I
hustle below the radar.
Yeah,
that's the way I like to think of it. Just because, like all the parties I do, like most people don't know I started Redemption. Most people don't know, you know,
You're jumping out the window because that's where we're gonna get. Because I know when it comes to two staple monsters that you had a great hand in was Redemption and Amnesia.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about those there.
Well, Redemption started basically the same way I was just talking about. It was like I was getting tired of just the club reggae was the same reggae all the time. Yeah. Just like the house music in the club was the same 5 songs. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was just getting tired of it. And you know, part of it was my fault. Okay. Because I fell into the system. Yeah. And a lot of guys were following what I was playing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if I'm playing these 5 house songs, then I'd go to another club and they're playing the same 5 house songs. Clearly, and then it caught on. Yeah. And then everybody's playing, you know, Atmosphere, Follow Me, It's the same 5 songs everywhere it went. And I was like, again, that was probably my fault because I didn't expand it. Yeah. And looking back on it, you know, I wish I had stuck to my guns on a few things. Yeah. But I was just so tired of it. And I was like, you know what? I want a reggae party where I can play the shit I really want to play. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
not just the club surface stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to go in.
I don't even want the club stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's so much wicked reggae out there. And I was like, it doesn't get played on my side. I'm sure you guys, of course you guys were all playing it. But I was like, for me and for my crowd, there's nowhere to go because I'm not going to banquet halls. And I know a lot of my people are not.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But they love the music.
They love the music. That's why the fusion with Turbo was so great for them and me. Yeah. Because, you know, it brought them into the R&B scene and gave them a whole new following. And, you know, they would bring out their people too who would behave differently in our party.
Makes sense.
You know, the thuggies weren't the thuggies in our parties.
You're in the R&B scene, so
they wanted the girls
act this way.
They were dancing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, things were different on our side. You know, it's funny saying our side, but that's really the way it was. You know what I mean? So everything was different back then. And it was just, I wanted a party that I can do that with. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I called Presto. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I really want to do this. Yeah. I was like, I have a name. Yeah. I just wanted this party to be, it was the older reggae stuff. Yeah. I was like, there's so much. Remember when we used to do this? Remember when we used to do that? I want to play them shabbas. And you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. He's like, but who else are we going to bring in? I was thinking, I was like, okay, let me call Bandit. Yeah. And Bandit was, you know, just getting his feet wet with the DJing stuff, but he was a good friend of mine. It's like, let's call Bandit. We did it. Small place. It was just fun. It was like a house party. Yeah. I was like, I like this. And we just kept doing it, and it grew into this mega monster. And it just changed for me because the way I am with things is I'm like this with everything. Yeah. If I get a new phone, I use it for 20% of its capacity. Okay. If I get a computer, even Serato, I use it for 20. I'm very raw and basic with everything I do.
You know, these 5 buttons do this, even though there's 20. Yeah. I know these 5 do this. I just need to use these.
And the thing with me is, I'm like a kid with keys. Like, I'll start Redemption, and then I want to start this. So it's like, yeah. Don't worry, I'll get there. You know, thankfully I had Bandit and Presto who recognized what it was and you know, wanted it to be this bigger. But I wasn't even thinking we're going to do, government and rebel and 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 people. Because nobody was doing that.
Yeah. No.
Monthly?
For
Are you crazy?
For a party? No.
Insane.
Concert? Yeah. Party? No way.
Nobody.
No way.
And, it just became... I just lost a taste for it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was butting heads with Bandit on just direction and things. And he's like, no, we got to play some new music. And I was like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
That's not why we started it. But he did such amazing things with it he made it the monster it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I created the party.
Okay.
And we had it that way for a long time, but he made it the monster it is.
Yeah.
Him and Presto.
When it comes to business?
Yeah, him and Presto
Bandit?
made it the monster it is, right? Yeah. And I just lost taste for it, so I basically just gave my keys to them and said, take Redemption. And I walked away.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't make any money from Redemption anymore. And people still think I'm part of it.
Yeah.
Just because I was there for so long. But he just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, that just goes to show you how I am. I'm just like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I want my percentage. Nah, I'm not, if I'm not part of it,
I'm not in.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And applause to them. They're still holding it.
Yeah.
I created another one.
Yeah. Yo, shit, we see.
But and then Amnesia was the same thing. Like Ian and I were talking, and we were like, we know it's fun, but it's not fun anymore. Yeah. We wanted a fun party where we could play kind of all the back catalog music, and I was like, let's do this. The same thing. Small party. Originally, it was with Spencer, and then Jason came after.
Yeah.
And then it was just us three, and Amnesia's always been one of my favorite parties, just because it's.
Yeah.
I can play anything from Chubby Checker to fucking, Dr. Dre. It's just incredible. Mm-hmm. And the same thing. I mean, you can only run with things so long. It was just internal problems again. And now it's really only just me and Ian.
Yeah.
And it's just, even that, I mean, it's at a different place now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the monster it used to be.
Yeah.
But it's still a great party. Mm-hmm. So we just do it like once or twice a year now. We'll probably do it a little more frequently coming up, but it just ran its course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were so many.
It is what it is.
And that's the thing is like when you're successful and you're doing something successful, then the copycats come out. So, not to say there weren't old school parties before Amnesia. There was, but there weren't any old school parties like Amnesia.
Brought it to that level.
We changed it. We changed the game. Same thing with Redemption.
Yeah.
There were billions of reggae parties.
Yeah.
And nobody could understand how I could make a reggae party like that.
Yeah.
Like it was more haters. You know what I mean? It's like, how is this guy going to make a reggae party?
If you understand it from jump, you would understand that people that were going to Redemption loved reggae, but they wouldn't go outside of that downtown court to go listen to reggae.
Absolutely.
And that was the selling point. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to invade your space and take away all the reggae crowd. These people here weren't coming to you regardless. You know what I mean? So then, okay, let's just do our thing and go home.
But I get it. Again, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand frustration.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a reggae guy and that's you, and then you're looking out and it's like this R&B guy is coming in and...
Yeah.
Or they always used to call me the hip hop guy, like, it's coming in and doing this reggae party and it's blowing up. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
And on top of that, you're not really inviting none of us in. But again, the us didn't really understand that it's not, even though we're playing reggae, they're not receptive to it being played in that style.
Yeah, and that, just like you said, that was the appeal of Redemption, was that it was friendly.
Yeah.
In a sense, in a fun sense of the word, it was friendly. People didn't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? And knock on wood, we didn't have violence, or we didn't have anything for that matter. Funny enough, the only gunshot ever was at Amnesia, at the Michael Jackson versus Prince. Exactly.
Like what's even?
It was some random guy. It was some random guy.
Yeah.
And then it was at Limelight on Adelaide, and I don't know what happened. I was playing. Heard this shot, everybody running, and me. Yeah. And I'd been in dances with shots before. Okay. I've had people literally shot right beside me.
Wow.
I chased the guy on the street because I was like, "This is fucking Amnesia, you fucking!" And my boys had to like grab me, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "I take my shit serious."
Yeah, he has a gun.
I'm a Scorpio. I don't think like that. I don't think like that. I'm that idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like. all these things, like my mantra is always fun. Everything, if you see me post stuff, it's fun. Like we spoke about Get On Up.
Yeah.
Like all these things I'm doing is just fun. Music is fun.
100%.
We always used to have fun at parties, always. And then it kind of got lost. You know what I mean? Bottle service obviously changed the game.
100%.
But I never got into that game.
Yeah.
I don't do parties for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's not my money.
Yeah.
I don't make money off bottle service, so why do I care about bottle service? You know what I mean?
To curate an event and let you have a great time.
Yeah. And there's so many, I mean, the thing that people forget, there's enough people for everybody.
Yeah.
There's enough. You want to do a polka party?
Yeah.
You can find people to come out and dance the polka. And we've proven this.
Yeah.
But we've proven this. You know what I mean? Who would have thought X amount of party? I started a house music party called Sweet Tears.
Yep.
Same premise. People were doing house parties all over the place.
Yeah.
But they weren't doing it like this. You know what I mean? Because we just played different stuff and we brought in a different crowd.
I guess it's a formula that you just put on every event. You just have a certain formula that you know works. So we're just going to put it towards every event and see what happens.
I do events that I would like to go to.
Yeah.
That's the way
Makes
I
sense.
approach it.
Makes sense.
And I feel like if you've been rocking with me for 25 years, you trust me, then I have that same trust for you. So I'm not going to put on a shitty event. And everything I do is, I mean, I've always been big on branding and stuff like that, but everything I do, I try to give back, sometimes too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I always try to give back just more than music because I'm that guy that feels like, you know, you could have been anywhere tonight, but you came here to support me.
And that is real. You didn't just say that with words, or you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. No, I really mean this.
I believe it. You know what I mean? And I expect that in return. If I go somewhere and, you know, there's nothing worse than going to a concert and it's shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It sucks because you paid your money. It sucks. Or going to a movie and it sucks. Like it cheeses you. You're cheesed.
You paid to be entertained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the main premise is I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, exactly. And again, money has never been my driving force for these parties because it's very hard to make money doing these kind of parties. Yeah. It takes a long time. It took us a long time to make money at Amnesia and Redemption.
A lot of people don't
Years.
understand. That's what they don't understand. It's like it's a process. The first year, nobody cares.
First year?
You know what I mean?
I say years. Like I would lose money every time because I could make more money going and getting hired. So I would lose money, but I love doing it so much. Yeah. And I know I can make my money other ways. Yeah. So I'm good. So
I love this.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is a selfish event. I love it. So we're going to
I love it, but I also understand the growing pains.
Yeah.
Because I came from that. I grew up in growing pains as a DJ. I'm willing to take the chance of passing on gigs, and I'm willing to do these other things and build it and spend money. Like if you came to the early redemptions, I mean, we were giving out shit like crazy.
Okay.
Own pocket and not making a dime.
Yeah.
Your guest list full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's
just to get people there.
But it's brand because you have to remember.
But the problem is, like we were talking, like I made the joke before about promoters who have no money and relying on every dollar that comes in. Those guys don't give back.
At all.
Because they're just doing it for one purpose, to pay their bills. So it's a different mentality. I'm not doing it to pay. I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I need to live. I got a family. I got to pay my bills. But that's not my driving force. I didn't create Get On Up with that premise in mind. I didn't, all these other parties I'm doing, it's not. The money is not the driving force.
They will come eventually because clearly it's
sometimes,
business. You know
sometimes.
what I mean? Yeah. But that's not the whole, hey, you know how I can make an extra $500,000 this year?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let's keep a party at Nest.
But guys do.
Yeah.
Right? And I think those guys are the ones that hurt the scene. You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not a great product. You know what I mean? And you could just feel it. Like you feel it when you walk into the room. You're like,
because the end consumer wasn't thought about first. It was the pocket first, and then how I need this money in my pocket. How can I get this? Okay, this is what I could do. That's all I need to do. I'll do the minimum, get everybody in, get it, and keep it moving.
And turn my back and thank you for the money and peace out.
That's
right.
it.
But eventually that comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like everything I do is me looking at me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what would I like? Exactly. What would I like? So I would like to go to a place and like, still to this day, every time we do Get On Up, champagne, chocolates, we give out compacts, branded compacts at the last thing to all the ladies and stuff. Like,
that's pretty
we put up video walls, you know, like people get that we love what we're doing. You don't walk in there and feel like it's a money grab. Never. Because I'll always make a point of that.
Yeah.